Hello everyone, and you're watching Bitcoin Bubble news channel. There have been a lot of big changes in the past, so you have a lot of guts. You're always making your company stronger. I also worried from time to time, were you ever close to margin calls? Did anything bad ever happen to MicroStrategy? When Silvergate Bank failed, we had to repay that, but it turned out to be good for us because we made a lot of money on it. So we paid back our Silvergate loan. Bitcoin Bubble stands out because it is clear and easy to understand. There's no limit to who can join, no matter how much they know about crypto or how new they are to it. Guess who is watching us now? Robert Kiyosaki is the author of the best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad. We'd also like to thank everyone who put their trust in us. We read all of your comments, and the best part is that it's free. If you sign up now, you'll get all the new information for free. Stay ahead of the trends instead of just following them. Sign up for Bitcoin Bubble right now and enjoy the new edge. CEO and Chairman of MicroStrategy, Michael Saylor, joins Squawkbox to talk about the company's interest in Bitcoin, what MicroStrategy still does, and how the new ETF will affect the price of Bitcoin. But the trip since August 10th, 2020 has been great because MicroStrategy bought about $8.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. The price of Bitcoin has gone up 44% a year on average since then. The SP is up 12%. We are up 825% since we borrowed money to buy it. The stock that has done the best in the SP is Nvidia, which is up 821% as of Friday. This means that our Bitcoin approach beat every company in the SP index. Any other things that MicroStrategy does not do? The software business is still going strong for us and brings in a lot of money. Our main job though is making Bitcoin better. We are in a sense securitizing Bitcoin. Some people don't want all the risk and instability that comes with Bitcoin, so we sell convertible bonds. Is it true that some people want a 150% risk? Some people want property with a lot of debt, so they trade options. This means that the market for options is very big, deep, and rich. The stock market has done very well, and we were the first to issue Bitcoin-backed bonds, which are basically convertible bonds backed by 5 times more Bitcoin security. Bitcoin's price dropped 7% from September 5th to September 7th, but it still managed to stay close to $54,000 each day, and later made up some of that loss by hitting $55,300. This movement was similar to how prices moved in global stock markets. However, the rise in Bitcoin's price can be attributed to a number of factors such as expected inflation data and rising threats to the dollar's dominance. Since September 6, when they hit their lowest point, SP 500 index futures have gone up 1.4% as investors became more sure that the US central bank would cut interest rates in the coming months to boost the economy. Slow dominant inflation is what economists are expecting. In the past, this has made it hard to change monetary policy to be less strict. The US CPI is expected to rise 2.6% year over year in August. The report is coming on September 11th. It's not easy to say how lower inflation will affect Bitcoin because one of the things that has made it popular is that it can be used to hedge risks because it has a set monetary policy. Some analysts, on the other hand, think that Bitcoin's price rises because the system becomes more liquid, which means that businesses and people can get cheaper capital and the returns on fixed income investments go down. User Apps 32 used 2x social network to show that the last cycle of falling interest rates in the US, which started in 2019, originally pushed Bitcoin prices up, but this couldn't last in the medium term. Despite this, the expert thinks that a possible drop to between $45,000 and $55,000 could be a great time to buy the. Because of this, it is smart to be skeptical of claims that Bitcoin's price will go up because interest rates are going down. Some people think that Bitcoin's biggest threat comes from tech stocks, either because the two have been correlated for a long time or because tech stocks offer stable cash flow and growth possibilities when Bitcoin is hard to come by. No matter what the US Federal Reserve does with money, investors are now paying more attention to the November election for president. The Republican Party and former President Donald Trump want to put 100% import taxes on goods from countries that don't use the US dollar for foreign transactions. Few years ago, countries like China, India, Brazil, and Russia thought about using cross-collateral transfers to move away from the US dollar. In response, Trump has said that he will keep the US dollar as the world's chosen reserve currency. He reaffirmed this promise at a rally in Wisconsin on September 7th, according to Bloomberg. Yahoo Finance reports that Oleg Lutman, a strategist at Commerce Bank AG, said that Trump's plan might make countries want to move away from the dollar, which could hurt the safe haven status of US bonds. Lutman tells investors to think carefully about what Trump said during his campaign, knowing that not all of his claims will come true. If you want to buy in Bitcoin, a weaker US dollar is usually a good sign for its price. However, this doesn't mean that Bitcoin will do better than gold, stocks, or real estate. But the fact that Bitcoin's main derivatives demand measure has stayed strong should be seen as a good sign. Are there any differences between the types of investors who used to buy your stock and those who now say buy an ETF? It's clear that one has more levers than the other. Yes, investing in the ETF gives you the same results as investing in a stock, but you pay a 25 basis point fee and get no return. When we sell a $1 billion convertible bond that pays 1% interest, we get a 50% premium or 50% BTC return right away. After that, we get another crop at the end. So if you wanted a kind of return on your asset that was tax deferred, or if you wanted to get into the market for convertible bonds. For example, MicroStrategy can borrow $1 billion at a 1% interest rate, use that money to buy Bitcoin and hold on to it for 7 years. You can't do that on your own. What did you make? I think I just read in the news that $1.2 billion left the Bitcoin ETF. Also, sir, I'd like to know what you think is going on with the ETF and the price of Bitcoin. It's been a good thing overall and it's made more people want to buy it. But remember that Bitcoin is smart, fast, and safe money. Say you're afraid of a rocket strike on a Saturday night. You can't teleport your $10 million flat to Singapore, borrow 10 times that amount, and sell $100 million worth of New York real estate. But if you borrow $10 million, you can short $100 million worth of Bitcoin. You have a lot of quick money players, which means there is a lot of risk. It will cause instability in the ETFs, which will spread. Could you explain? Okay, that's fine. Could you explain this? One of the things you just talked about is that people used to talk about this as digital gold in the event of a missile strike or something. You might still think that, but it doesn't really act like digital gold during a missile strike. As far as I can tell, it is the world's most liquid, free, and open financial market. You are in New York homes that can't be traded. It's not a fluid. I can't sell it quickly. So Bitcoin trade is almost the exact opposite of what it should be during a short-term panic. Long term, it's up 44% a year, and you can either get 12% from the S&P with BIX or 44% by doing 3x of the work. If you're an investor, it will be great in the long run because it's strong cash. Traders have a lot of chances to make money through trading in the near future. Due to their longer settlement times, Bitcoin monthly futures come with costs. To make up for this risk, sellers usually expect a 5% to 10% annualized premium. The annualized Bitcoin futures premium basis rate has stayed the same at 6% over the past week, which shows that people have continued